Hi everybody, it's Carla from Colorado, and um, like where else would I be right now? Okay, so it's been 2 weeks and I did not finish, um, I only finished one thing, and I didn't finish the poppies like I wanted to, but I did get them started. So I'm going to start with the first finish, or the finish actually, that I had. This one stitched up pretty quickly, and I actually watched American Horror Story, which I watched all the seasons up to 7 because I'm watching season 8 on the TV. So, um, what a weird show. And you know, when you're binge watching, whether it's a good show or not, you're gonna watch it unless it's so horrible you can't. But it was interesting to have that playing in the background while I was stitching. Just the season for Halloweeny stuff, which I consider that show to be, by the way. So let's talk about this finish. I have a story to go with the finish. So I have a brother who lives on a 36-foot Grand Banks. It's an older model. I believe it's late 70s, sometime in the 80s, maybe somewhere around that. So apparently it was left just sitting around, rotting away for a long time. And um, my brother got together with the owner and decided to buy it from him. So he got a really good deal. So he has this boat, and that's where my brother lives. He does tiny house living on his little Grand Banks up in Alaska, bobbing around on the water. And I'm envious because if I were in Alaska and I could stay in Alaska without hurting, I would have bought a boat. hmm Yeah, but I have my beautiful RV, so I am not complaining. So anyway, my brother is a huge fan of unconventional cross-stitch patterns. He has been since I want to say 2010 no, it was 2009 when we did there was a speed stitch competition where we all did the Celtic Peacock, and I'll insert that right here. So we did the Celtic Peacock, and we were given a section of the pattern every week until it was completed. And that's where I had done the epic fail where I started it and I could have won, but when I started it too far over, so I couldn't get the tail feathers on the fabric. It was just, I could have won, but it's okay. I ended up restitching it on some Aida that I had. Because back then, my fabric stash wasn't really great. It wasn't, not like it is now. I have a fabulous stash, but back then it was kind of like making do with what you have because I didn't make very much money at that time. Um, and so, it was kind of like doing with what you can. And so he has the Celtic Peacock rolled up in a tube on his boat because he doesn't have the space to hang it anywhere. And I might want to make a quilt out of that for him. I'll have to talk to him about that. That's a good idea. Thank you all for inspiring me. So my brother is a rough rider. He's got a mouth. And I'm not saying that I don't have a mouth because sometimes I do. But when it comes to cross stitching, I don't usually like to cross stitch swear words. Even though I can say the swear words, I don't like stitching them because in my mind, it's kind of blasphemous, But to each their own, I have giggled over some really great cross stitch projects that, they have things like Stitch and Bitch, stuff like that, you know, which is funny to me. I still laugh, you know, and I think it's great that people have taken the time to make these wonderful pieces, but I never thought that I would want to stitch swear words. I don't like it. So, I mean, I love the patterns, and if I can alter them at all, I will, which in this case I did. But the swear word is still there. So please brace yourself. If you are offended by swear words, I apologize to you, but this is for my brother, and I'm going to be making a little hanging, a quilted hanging for him for the door to his cabin on his little boat. And this actually describes my brother really well. So here it is. Now, let me fold it up a little bit so you don't have to continue being offended if you are. If you're not and it made you giggle, good. So this fabric was a piece of 18 count light blue Aida that I have. When I'm going to do a great big piece, I usually buy a piece of fabric that's twice the height and width that I need so that I can cut it down to the proper size after measuring 27 times because I'm so bad at math. Well, I also like to be exact. It's just weird, isn't it? That we like to be exact at it. Cross stitching because you don't want it to be all over the place. So I like the blue fabric, and blue is my brother's favorite color. But I figured if I'm going to be stitching something like this, I should jazz it up a little bit and make it more girly, more me. And so I did the shaving cream. I can't speak English today. I'm so sorry. I did the shaving cream dyeing, fabric dyeing with Dylon dye. Now, here's something you need to know if you're going to do the shaving cream method. If you want a solid color, then you're going to have to mix the dye up with the shaving cream. Like get your hands in there. Well, wear your latex gloves because it'll stain the heck out of your hands, right? And then mix it all up in there. And then you put your fabric in, and then you can get, you know, the nice swirls and stuff that I'm sure some of you have seen. But that's if you do it the way I do it. Some people, they mix it up and then they swirl it onto the fabric. I do the opposite, and I don't swirl it because there's a special effect that I can get with the dye. I'm going to show you now. And it's kind of speckled. So you see that? I only used one color, and the fabulous part of that Dylon powder is you just sprinkle it on the shaving cream and you press the fabric onto it. So you're not mixing the powder up so that it makes that brilliant color, whatever color it is you're getting. So in this case, it was like a spring green. I can't remember the name of it because I used it all on this, what I had left on this. So you see, you get blue and green and yellow. So you get all these colors that if you actually mixed them up together would be that spring green. But it was perfect for this fabric and to do what I wanted to do. So when it's, you know, all sewn up and stuff, it'll just be that. And that's why you see like there's blue with some blah around the edges because I didn't really care about the edges. I just wanted that center part to have the dye, and it works brilliantly. I did that on fabric that I dyed for Nuclear Pinup, which is another unconventional cross stitch pattern, and that one looks like a moldy canvas, which is exactly the look I was going for. So when I do Nuclear Pinup, it's going to look rough and it's artistically I can see it in my head. It's just going to be so good. So anyway, so this was for my brother, and I just, you know, swear word aside, I just love this pattern. And technically the pattern, the words, it's like welcome, and then the word goes out here, and there's a cherry on each side with roses on the bottom. And my brother's door window isn't very big, so it couldn't accommodate the big, huge one unless I did 1/1 on some even weave to make it super tiny. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted something big and bold. And he picked out the floss color, the electric blue color for the letters, which makes it even better. So, you know, he's got a little taste going on there. Very cool. So that was my finish for my brother, and I have 2 other projects for him that I'll be starting when I get my whips down a little bit more. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 whips that I need to, you know, at least get half of those done before I start another big project. So I have Blue Angel Mermaid and Liquid Lace are for my brothers, and I'll insert those pictures right here. So you can see how beautiful they are. Next is, let's talk about Halloween. This year, for some reason, I wonder if I just burnt myself out last year. I don't know. But this year, I'm not as into it as I normally am, because I'm going to insert a picture here so you can see. That is all the Halloween decoration I managed to do this year. And I have boxes of stuff that they go all over the RV. I didn't even bring out the cross stitch, like my Peter Pumpkin or my Welcome. None of it. It's just my glass pumpkins, my tablecloth, and my stained glass, and that'll take me through till December 1st when we trade it all out for the Christmas stuff. And I guess I was just feeling autumnal and not necessarily holiday. I don't know. It's weird for me, but I do have one pattern left, and that is Ashley May's Doodle Pumpkin Bird Cat Doodle. It's so cute, isn't it? So if you remember, I got this far on it before I messed up and then realized I had some more boo-boos on there that needed to be fixed, and I said, okay, we're going to start over. And this is as far as I've gotten. Let's see, without the, there we go. So that's as far as I've gotten, and I really want to finish this one, but it's going to be slow going, and I won't have it finished by Halloween. And because honestly, I am seriously burnt out on the Halloween. I don't know. I think it's because I want to stitch other things. Speaking of other things, this is, you'll remember the Dimensions flowers. And last time, 2 weeks ago, I said I would probably have this finished before my next floss tube. Well, as you can see, that's as far as I got. Yeah, because, you know, I wanted to do more on the doodle bird, but I'm going to tell you why not much stitching has been done, even though I want to do it all the time. It's because I ended up interviewing for and getting hired for a super great job. I have the job. It's been 2 weeks. I started it 2 weeks ago on a Friday, actually, 2 weeks from Friday. And it is perfect. My supervisor is wonderful. The job is wonderful. There's no stress. It gets a little busy sometimes, but it's really nothing. It's nothing. And I couldn't have asked for a more perfect job, even if I'd sat down to try and describe the kind of job that I wanted. This one just fell right in there. And honestly, when I interviewed, I didn't think I was going to get the job because Um, you know, that's just the way, I mean, rejection letter after rejection letter, or I'd get an interview and I wouldn't hear anything back, not even a rejection letter. It it was just, it was at that point where I was like, you know, I don't think I'll get it, but that would be a great job to have. And next thing I know, I'm getting the call saying, hey, you know, come work for me. And I said, okie dokie. So I got that job, and now that I'm acclimating to, you know, I have to get up early in the morning, I have to drive for 45 minutes to work. I mean, granted, it's only 17 miles away, but you know, with traffic here in Colorado, regardless of where you are, it's going to take a while. So I actually have to commute to work, which is interesting. I don't think I've commuted to work in about 5,000 years. I don't know, but it's anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes in the morning, and unless there's a wreck, then it takes longer. And then in the afternoon, it depends on the day of the week, but it usually takes me 45 minutes to an hour to get home in the afternoon. So, because it's an 8 to 5 job, but I don't mind. I just, the job is worth it. I am excited sitting here just thinking about it. You know, I'm like, oh, I get to go to work tomorrow. Woohoo! And it's not like, oh, I get to go to work tomorrow and make a paycheck, which would be really great. But this is more like, I get to go to work tomorrow. And it's a really good feeling knowing that you like your job. So when I get home at night, you know, I'll finally get in, I'll do some things, and then I'll sit down to stitch, but I'm so tired. I might get, you know, 10 or 20 stitches in, and then I'm like, I don't want to make a mistake, and I'm really tired, and my eyes can't see, and, you know, so not much has gone on. The only time I do have to stitch is on the weekends, but the last couple weekends have been really busy. So we had we were doing some work the weekend before last. We did a bunch of work, and then last weekend, what did we do? I don't remember. I know we did some things. Oh, I did all the things. You know, I had to pick up all the apples from the yard and put those in the garbage can. I had to pull up all my flowers that are dead now. That was sad. Now it's just an empty dirt box. So ugly. But there's a farmer down the road. He was selling pumpkins that they grow, and they're super cheap. It's better than going to the grocery store, and they're cool looking pumpkins. So I got a couple of those and put them in the dirt in my flower box. So now I got pumpkins up there. I'm just afraid the high school kids will come by and smash them. They're already playing Ding Dong Ditch, so, you know. So that's what's happening there with that stuff. So great job. Too tired to stitch, but I'm sure after a while it'll get better. And then I just remembered yesterday that for the Stitching Pirates, the 5th annual ornament exchange is happening now. And normally we don't set that up until November. And then the first or second week of December, everybody's in a hurry to mail it out, and there's just no time, and oh my gosh. Well, this year we decided to do it earlier so that we're mailing them out by the middle of November, before everyone gets sidetracked with family and holidays and all that good stuff. So I remembered that this was happening and that I too had signed up for, you know, our little ornament exchange. And so I went and dug in my patterns box, and I found this, the Lizzie Kate, and this is Tiny Tidings number 8, and I have the little doodads that go with it. So there we go, and I can see them better, sort of, with the plastic. Plastic is shiny. So I asked the girls, which one do you like best? And it came down to No Peeking and Berry Christmas. And but I also like the Be Merry. That one's cool. And I like them all, actually. So I don't know which one to stitch for the exchange, but I have it out, it's ready. And the only bummer for you guys about this is when I shared this with the girls, one of them said that this pattern should travel up north to her house. So when I get done with it, it's going to Canada. So this won't be on a giveaway, which leads me up to this Floss Tube videos giveaway. Now I had spoken about this before. Oh, it's in the bag. I'm so sorry. And I think today is a mighty fine day to share this. My only worry is it seems to me that everybody has this pattern. But if you're one of the everybody's that doesn't, this will be for you. So it's first I drink the coffee, then I do the things. And because I don't drink the coffee anymore, I still do all the things. But I have become more of a teetotaler because of the heart. We can't have stimulants in the body that make things go pitter-patter a little too quickly. So get back in the bag. So the pattern is up for grabs, but not just the pattern. It's not just the pattern. Because as great as the pattern is, you need the cup. You can't drink the coffee without a cup, so you can do all the things. So it's the matching cup and the pattern. And love this mug. It's huge. You get all the, space for all your coffee and your pumpkin spice, whatever you want to put in your coffee, but that's for the drawing. And here's what I'd like you to put down below if you're going to enter the drawing is what kind of coffee do you drink and how did you come to love that coffee? And yeah, just put that in the comments below. And a lot of people, you guys are so great, always so wonderful with comments and stuff. But if you're just entering the drawing, you can just put your coffee comments on there. That's fine. Don't feel guilty. It's okay. I often struggle with putting comments after a video, especially if I've enjoyed the video. I want to say something, but, my social interactions are not always clear. I don't know. When you want to say something, you're really excited and words fail you, and then you just type blah, all this stuff, and then it comes out sounding really dumb or kind of creepy. That would be me. So I don't always leave comments, but I just want you all to know that I love your Floss Tube videos, and please keep making them because I really do love them. They make me happy. So there's that. So we have the drawing, we have the things, we have all the things. Oh, and today, because it's Sunday, I'm going to be working on the pirate ship. Pirate ship, pirate ship. I'm probably not going to get much done, but I'm going to try. I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff done. And if you follow me on Instagram, all right, I'll give you another sneak peek, but this is the November Neglected Floss Stitch Along. Let me put this behind here so you don't see through the fabric. But there's your sneak peek. But it's just a square. Well, it always starts out as a square, but you get to see the Jody Reed fabric. And this is very exciting to me. It is the September 2018 limited edition Autumn Leaves. I just love the fabric. I might have to hit up Michelle and get some more. I really like it, and I could see doing a lot of stuff. So I'm also going to be using, my Sullivan's threads. And they're the over-dyed. So these three colors right here. I don't know if you can see them very well with the plastic, but they're really pretty, very fall. They go with my leaves, my beautiful Jody Ree fabric. And just FYI, I am loving the Sullivan's floss. And I can't wait to do my product review on my blog. I need to finish a couple more things because I've been doing some things. I think I made that. I did. I made a Viscornu. Where did it go? Where'd it go? Oh, great. Now I can't find it. October. What's before October? September. I made the September Viscornu using Sullivan's thread. So I have a little bit under my belt for the Sullivans. For the poppies, this one right here, I am using all Sullivans. And speaking of which, I never thought I'd like the bags. Never thought I would be a bag person, but I'm in love with the bags. So where did I put it? Oh, here it is. So I have flosses for several projects right here. And here's a little update for you. So if you wanted to try some Sullivan's floss and you have like a full coverage piece, and you want to order the floss for it, you go to mynotions.com and you make an order. But here's the thing. If you spend less than $35, you're going to have to pay that $10 shipping fee because they want you to have it right now. So it's like you make the order, they send you the email saying your order is complete. You know that in 2 days, you're going to have that in your mailbox. It's a guarantee. But if you make an order $35 or more, the shipping's free. It'll take them a little longer to put the order together because $35 worth of floss at 25 cents a piece, that's a lot of floss. It takes them a little while to do it. But you'll get them in these neat little packages that say, oh, let me see. Let me use an example. 45048 through 45134. So you'll have them in number order in these little packets. So it's really awesome the way they do it. And I did get another where'd it go? Here it is. I did get another humbug pattern with the floss that I'm going to throw in with this current drawing. I totally blanked. And oh my gosh, I just realized, Glennahan, I could swear that I had mailed you your from the last drawing, your Lizzie Kate snippets, and they are sitting right here with the envelope. I am so sorry. Oh, please forgive me. Oh my gosh. I will put special presents in there for you. I already have one in there, 2, but this requires a little bit more. Unacceptable. Okay. Now I'm embarrassed. I really thought I mailed that. What did I mail last week? Well, that's going to go out sometime this week. The only problem with me mailing things out is, I leave it, whenever in the morning. But that's no excuse. No excuse whatsoever. None. So I'll get that out. It is out in the open where I can see it, not buried under stuff. Well, I'm naughty. Okay, moving right along. I can't believe I just found that. Well, it'll be a nice early Christmas present for you, Glennahan. That's for sure. I'll make it worth your weight. So, okay, so that's all I have for you today. I hope you all have a happy Halloween, happy All Saints Day, happy All Souls Day, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. So until then, keep on stitching.